Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Trumpeter. It's 148 scale aircraft kit. It's AH-64A Apache, so the famous helicopter in a popular scale. This is a new tooled plastic, and we have some dimensions written here, so the length will be 311 millimeters. I guess it's because of the long blades, rotor blades, and also here we have the total plastic parts is more than 350, which is quite impressive for 148 scale kit, and that's why it will be interesting to see what is actually copied, that there is such a huge number. So first of all, the box size here is rather big for 148 scale helicopter. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have quite nice box art, but I would say it's traditional for Trumpeter. And also what you will see in this video, this is the final shape of this kit. It was purchased with help of your donations, so that's why if you get it in some good model shop, for example in Modelimex, you will be getting exactly the same stuff. So here on the side you can see also some 3D images of the features for this helicopter. So as you can see, there are some hatches detailed, the cockpit should be nicely detailed, also the nose turret is detailed. Here we have also some Chinese text which I do not understand, so we flip over to the opposite side and here we have it in English. So it's a short history note. There are also some PE parts supplied, which is rather surprising. And here we have also the decals and 2 marking options which are included. I wonder if it's limited only to 2 marking options or we will actually get more, and this is only just an example. So the box is on the tight fitment side, so that's why I will just take it off the table and it will be quicker this way. So here inside we have the advertisement of the same kit. As you can see, these are the kits from June and August. We also have the Striker vehicle. I guess it's a 1/72 scale kit, and here on the opposite side you can see also 1/16 scale. This is the Hamel, and I guess the Hamel in 1/16 scale, it will be quite a large project, which, well, I do not have space for sure. I wonder if you do. So if you are a fan of such large vehicles, now, feel free to write in the comment section. I will be happy to know your opinion about this recent fashion of releasing the big scale armor kits, which are taking almost half a room, and they are getting sold out very quickly. This is what is surprising. But here we are starting with the first gray plastic sprue. So as you can see, it's a light gray, and I guess we can open the lenses a bit more. So here we have the fuselage halves, and both are molded together with the tail fin, and moreover they are molded together with the framing for the canopy, which is rather unusual parts design, especially if we compare it with some classic helicopter models from Hasegawa, for example. So here, as you can see, we have it designed this way, and it means that you have the separate clearance sections to be inserted in between, so it will be quite a process to do. And as for the external features, here we have recessed panel lines and rivets. So I guess at this moment I should zoom in so that you can see what I'm talking about here. And overall molding quality looks fine. I guess this section will require a bit of the attention so that you separate it carefully and do not break or scratch anything. And also here you can see parts for the tail wings, which are also looking good. I guess the tail wings should be, assembled out of 2 halves. And here inside the fuselage you don't have any features whatsoever because the cockpit will be assembled separately. And I also have no doubt that we will see the aftermarket for this kit, because the helicopter itself is quite popular, and there are a lot of build options which you can replicate with this plastic. Next we have this foam with the clear parts, so I'll just take it out and show you the clear parts themselves. So it's a sprue G, and here you can see these transparent sections which we were just discussing. So as you can see, they're looking great, and maybe such design is actually made in order to avoid usage of the masks on your model. So this might be actually a quite smart idea, as long as you manage to carefully install the clear parts. And believe me, this is not such an easy task as it might look to be, so that's why it's better to check the fitment first and then proceed with installing these parts onto your fuselage parts. Next we continue with the sprue D, and here we have the parts of the fuselage. I just need to zoom out so that you can see the whole frame. So as you can see, we have various panels. I guess those parts will be used in the cockpit. We also have some parts for the engine nozzles and the air intakes. And everything is looking fine. I can see even some turret parts here. And there are surprisingly a lot of tiny bits. For example, here you can see comparison with my fingertip. So be careful with this because there are no spare parts provided in this kit. And in case you lose or break something, then you will have to scratch build it somehow by yourself, or maybe even try to repair it somehow. And believe me, it's not a fun thing, especially with such tender parts. I mean, such small parts. So that's why it's better just to be careful. Next we have even more foam. As you can see, it's the whole frame actually wrapped into it. So we'll cut through it and we will take a closer look together in order to see why it is actually packed like this. But usually Trumpeter does it in order to preserve the tender, I would say slim parts. But here we actually have two plastic sprues wrapped into this, and I can guess these are the armament frames combined together with the large rotor blades. So let's move this sprue aside. So as I said, this plastic bag and foam was packing two sprues of this type which you are seeing right now. Here we have large blades for the main rotor. We also have some engine parts, and I guess here it's worth zooming in so that you can see what we are talking about, because they're looking surprisingly good, and I wonder if it's possible to open the engine bay on this kit, because it wasn't advertised in the features of this kit. But if the engine is included up to these details, I guess there should be an option to rise or open at least one cowling in order to expose what is inside, because otherwise it's really unnecessary inclusion. But overall, as you can see, even these engine parts, landing gear wheels, they're looking good. Obviously the landing gear wheels, they can be replaced with resin parts, which will cost you extra money. And here you can see also some cockpit elements as well, the seats for the pilots, and also some armament. So all of this is looking rather nice. And again, maybe for the pilot seats we will also see the upgrade. I would rather bet that it will be the whole cockpit upgrade, but it will cost probably the same money as the kit itself. So this is already your decision whether you are going to invest that much into your build. Next we continue with smaller plastic sprue. So here the most notable part is this one. It's the cockpit floor or cockpit base. We also have the instrument panels here. Here we have also some parts for the air intakes, and again some thin parts for the wiring and piping. Here we have the engine cowling parts, I guess. These are the panels for the air intakes probably. And let's flip over this plastic sprue, because as you can see here inside we also have some details pre-molded. Now you should be able to see. So I guess it's done not just because it was nice to be done, it's because you can open these panels. But in order to be sure, we have to check the assembly manual. And on the bottom of the box I'm already seeing some nice surprises in this kit, but we will talk about them in a minute. First we need to finish the gray plastic frames, so here is the last one. And as you can see here we have the wings, we also have the panels for the fuselage, we also have some parts for the engine nozzles, and also some parts for the main rotor. And as you can see, they're looking rather great. Main rotor parts should be assembled out of two halves. As you can see, we have the guiding elements inside, so it's also something easy to do. And I hope the fitment will be good, because otherwise it might take some time to somehow align those complex shaped elements together. Next I'm opening another plastic bag, and here we have the Decals sheet. So just give me a second to take it out. And what is interesting, as usual, Trumpeter is taping the backing paper to the Decals sheet. I don't know why they are doing this, maybe because the backing paper tends to slide in the plastic bag, but this is not fun to cut through when you are opening the Decals sheet for assembly. So be careful, try not to cut the decals. But here are the decals, and printing quality looks really nice. I don't see any possible issues here. We even have some decals for the cockpit, which is also cool. A lot of stencils. So this is not about the main symbols. This is more about these tiny writings applied on the model. So be careful with this, and it will definitely take some time. So be ready for this as well. Next, we continue with the masks. So yes, the masks are included, and that's the surprise I was talking about. As you can see, they are not pre-cut, I think, so you have to use sharp knife in order to cut through, but still it's better than nothing, and it will definitely give you a better result on your helicopter build. Next, I'm opening another tiny plastic bag, and here we have unpainted PE thread, so I will show it in a second. Here it is. What is interesting here is that we get the PE seat belts, and also some meshes are made with help of PE parts. This is rather typical, but for the seat belts I thought they will be pre-molded on the model plastic parts, but here they are given as the PE parts. Next, we continue with the marking guide, and this one is supplied in form of large color printed poster, and this might be actually a good thing to frame and put on the wall. As you can see here, we have the first marking option. So yes, the engine bay can be opened because it's shown here on the assembly manual, and here you can see another marking option together with some stenciling guide for the armament. So quite a decent marking brochure, and I always like when it's printed like this on the separate paper, and then you can use it as some decoration for your room as well. Next, we continue here with the assembly manual. So this one is printed in black and white. Here on the first page we don't have any history note, only safety advices. And then if I open it, here we have the parts map, as you can see. So again, no unused parts are marked here, so pay attention. But assembly process starts with the cockpit, and straight away you will be working with PE parts for the seat belts. So be ready for this, but I don't think it will be a complex part of the assembly. It's just you have to decide how you will be painting, maybe get some reference material so that the paint work will be more convincing. Here we are joining the fuselage halves together. Then we continue with assembling more fuselage panels in place, and as you can see, there are actually a lot of internals replicated out of the box, surprisingly a lot. And I think for 1/48 scale this is quite a cool feature. Even, for example, the landing gear base are replicated in the open position. I wonder if the in-flight position can be replicated, because here it's not shown. And on the next page you can see already the installation of the clear parts on the helicopter model. Next, we continue with another page. It's really difficult to pick them with the fingers, but here we continue with various external hatches. We also install the tail wings, and here on the next page you can see some separate hatches being installed in the open position. So here manufacturer actually shows how to replicate the canopy in open position, and this is actually a useful thing because the cockpit looks like to be detailed even out of the box, so this is good. Here we can see the engine assembly. Obviously you will be repeating the same thing twice because there are two engines supplied. And as you can see here, we have also the separate panels and also special parts if in case you plan to open this cowlings or panels. Here you can see them as well, so they are installed from both sides. There are special guiding elements, and it might be a good idea to glue one at a time because you need to have the proper joint between those parts. Next, we continue with the wings and pylons. Also various minor elements going onto the fuselage. I can see even some antennas. Masks are being applied on the canopy parts. And last but not the least, if I will manage to pick this page. So here we assemble the main rotor. And here we actually add some minor elements, PE parts on the main rotor, which is rather surprising to me. And here on the last page, of course, the armament. So you have the choice between different types of the armament. As you can see, there are some missiles even included. So it's up to you what you will equip on your helicopter. But overall, I think it's a really great kit, and it shows that it's a new tooth plastic. I think it might be an interesting project in 1/48 scale, and of course I will be happy to hear your opinion. So what do you think about such build? Would you start such project in a 1/48 scale? Feel free to write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.